Hey guys, it's GirlGotGame. Welcome back to London Detective Mysteria, and we are going to do the sweet boy Herlock Holmes's bad ending. So, bit tricky, this. I'm hoping I don't get lost in my notes, my copious note-taking. I can't be as bad as Watson, surely. But anyway, so we are a few episodes into this, and I picked everything the same. This is during the Jack the Ripper episode, where we get introduced to him in our class. So this is the first choice difference that we're going to make starting now. So I thought I'd bring you in for this. This is the dripping with curiosity line. Holmes asking if it interests us. And this time we'll say it's better to wait and see what happens. Ooh, getting those Watson points early. As much as it interests me, realistically, what can a young woman do about it? Even the police are baffled. The victims have all been women as well, and to investigate further would be to arrange my own death.
Exactly! Whew, I'm relieved to hear you say that. Bah. Not an unreasonable answer, but it is a boring, predictable one.
The conversation ended with Watson being the more pleased of the couple. I could only settle for my answer making sense to Holmes, for to say anything else would convince him that I was uncertain rather than I changed my mind. Alright, so that's that, and then I think the next... Let's see, I'll start skipping while I look. Yes, the next two things are the same. It's important to make friends. And then it should be the end of this episode. Whether we read a book and stuff. I don't think that really matters, but I'll just pick what I did last time for the sake of continuity. Read a book. And then the next one will be a different choice yet again. What is my choice? Okay. He's only committing crimes to fight crime. Who did I get a heart with? Who can say? If he only steals from suspected criminals as a way to punish evil, I suppose we can't rightly regard him as a petty thief.
Precisely! He's no saint, but more a villain on the side of good. He's different to the others. Well, he's a damn good bloke is what he is.
Oh, Watson, you naive young boy. What's the proper turn of phrase in this case? An eye for a tooth for an eye? Is that it? So close.
Emily, I'm almost sure that's not it. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Others might say, diamonds can only be cut by diamonds. Whichever you choose, the two of you are too soft on him. He is a criminal to be arrested, not a man worthy of praise.
Well, that's just your opinion, man. Okay, so now we got a few that are gonna be the same again. If I can remember what they were. Hopefully, it'll come to me as I go. Otherwise, I'm doomed. Doomed, I tell you. Alright. Hey, Lupin. Good to see you, my dude. Alright. So we gotta solve this. We gotta look at all the stuff. I do remember that. So we'll do the safe. Oh. What should I inspect? And the window. I guess I did it the other way around last time. I couldn't remember. That was before I knew I could look at everything. I thought I had to do it in a specific order or just pick one. Then I wouldn't get the chance to do it again. Okay, so don't trust Lupin like we always do. Which is fine, we can do that. So much to do! Goodness gracious me. Forgot how long these episodes were. You're just prolonging the inevitable game. Well, there we go again. Flying off into the night sky. Don't trust this boy, Emily. Not yet. Not even in this bad ending do you trust him. Open your eyes. Open your eyes, girl! Alright. Continuing to skip. Do. There's something familiar about that boy. I don't know what it is, but it's familiar. Pride and Prejudice thing. Let's see. Ah, we're doing the whole Watson case this time. Well. I wonder if there's any differences in this one. I can't remember all the choices offhand. I just know when I do have to pick a new one, but not when they are, unfortunately. Alright, we gotta do all these. I know that much. Alright, and the study. Guess I might as well drink some water while I'm waiting for this. Stable. Hit the wrong button on my keyboard for skipping. It's fine. This is fine. We're doing fine. Zooming along. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Is there any more choices in this episode particularly? I don't think there is. I think this is a very straightforward mystery, this one particularly. It's just kind of like, if you want to figure it out yourself before the protagonists do, then by all means. Let me find out Pendleton wields a gun on a regular basis. No problem there. Ah, when east comes west. Alright, so we're gonna meet our other two boys. Excellent. Alright. Were there choices in this one? I don't even remember. Not here in the beginning, anyway. Alright. Let me go give up our dessert like a good old lady. That was so nice of Emily. Now we're reunited. And then shenanigans are going to ensue pretty soon. Soon. Ah, there we go. Shenanigan time. Yeah, he's not someone I'll get on well with. Okay, that's the same. Sorry, Akachi. Apparently I'm only getting love points with Watson right now, so... Take that how you will. Watson. You're ruining things for your boy Holmes. Kobayashi. Okay, learning some more stuff about our parents. Ah, and then the Hudson case. The results wouldn't be very accurate that way. Okay, the next one is a different choice. We finally got there, everybody. Yeah. Are you alright? Are you alright? Wait. Who might you be? Okay, so instead of me imitating Holmes, me being like, there, young lady. Really, that's enough of a change to influence stuff. Interesting. Okay, so now I have to... Oh, man. I don't even know where I'm going now. Hold on, before I keep skipping and get lost, let me just... Classified... Do classified documents on major crime... Oh man, that's the Mr. Mackenzie one. Where is that? is that? Okay. So I have to do the Mr. Mackenzie one and then let the timer run out when I have to decide who I'm going to help with deciphering the code. Interesting. Okay. In that case, guys, instead of, you watching me just skip through a ton more of this game, I will bring you in when said change happens. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, as you can see from all this scribbling, we are getting close. And I guess it does kind of make sense. This is where changes start to happen, because we start breaking off into different people and stuff. Okay, so I want to do classified documents, and then the next one, I want to let the timer run out. Don't touch it. What if I don't want to help anybody with their messages? I've never actually let the timer run out before, so I don't know what happens. Am I working by myself then? I flipped through the pages of the book in my hand, skimming its contents carefully. And with success at that. I soon stumbled upon the page containing a table for the cipher used in the Babington plot. Let's start by decoding your message, Marple. This is the cipher used in the Babington plot, isn't it? Oh, we're helping our girl. Excellent. That's right. This should be simple work now we have that book. Right. Let's begin at the top. That sounds wise. The first word would be... I didn't even look. I think it's supposed to be Mig, according to my notes. $118. Okay. It's my, isn't it? That's right. Seems we'll get through this in no time. Absolutely. I'm so smart with my cheaty notes. We're good. Okay. So now we gotta go and do the same stuff, which is basically just the picnic, which is coming up next. Apparently there's an option to skip the... Oh, we don't get a note from Holmes because we didn't help him. That's so sad. This is written in the cipher used in the Babington plot. So it's from Marple. Let's see if I can decode this. Would you care for some tea at Fortnum and Mason after we finished here? I'm craving something sweet at the moment. Oh, Marple. All this for an invite to tea. Marple, standing next to me, returned my smile with a playful wink. Oh, you. She was always going to be a funny one to me. By any stranger's sights, she was a beautiful girl with a range of expressions which gave away little. And yet I knew her as the girl who only had a mind for sweets. The most dangerous kind of girl. Truly. Alright. Picnic day, do, picnic day. Okay, skip inviting everyone to the picnic? Yes, we're gonna skip it. Wow, everyone agreed to join. Amazing. Okay, and then we're gonna call out to Jack and not take his hand. Get him to come join us. It's nice they give you the option to skip that. Oh, alright. Well, we're doing our baskets by ourselves maybe this time? I reached out to the baskets before me to set about packing everything away. Oh, you're still gonna help me, huh? That's good. Thanks, boy. So polite. Alright, and this time I gotta take the slope and not the back alley. Why? I don't know. I can hear footsteps. Someone must be that way. Taking special notice not to trip on the sloped ground, I started walking once again. It wasn't long before the footsteps came to a halt. I thought the location odd, and I narrowed my eyes for visibility's sake to peer farther into the fog. With some success, thankfully, I could, albeit faintly, make out a single individual. That's interesting. So it looks like we're in the same location even though we picked a different option. Huh. Why does it matter the difference there? Maybe I was supposed to pick that option before when I did the good ending anyway? I don't know. I'm rather perplexed by this. Alright, time for our boo to get in trouble. And then we're gonna have to make an important choice with Pendleton. That's our next stop on this journey of bad endings. Unless something else changes between now and then, dialogue-wise. Okay, this must be the discussion. So now we're going to prioritize the family name. Ugh. I suppose you're right, Pendleton. I was so riled in what was happening before my eyes that I lost sight of my duty as an heiress. Holmes was dearly important to me, but he was one, and my family was many. My role from birth was to put those many first. Bearing such responsibility would have ordinarily been fraught with difficulty, but I was blessed to never think it. That was entirely due to Pendleton's care. What sort of noblewoman would I be if I were to willingly force him to shoulder yet more burdens in the course of my selfishness? I did as best I could to ignore a faint prickling pain that persisted at my heart and continued. It's time I take more responsibility for my own actions. I've left so much to you all these years, haven't I?
That would include doing away with looking so gloomy. A glum expression isn't befitting of the head of House Whiteley.
Yes, quite so. If I cannot protect the family name, then how would I ever manage to protect Holmes? Yet I wonder if the two are as mutually exclusive as we've made them out to be. There must be some way to aid him whilst fulfilling my duties. As I pondered the thought, I found myself with a new appreciation of just how delicate a balancing act my position was. Are you gonna greet him still? Okay, this is different. You didn't do anything wrong.
I know you're right, even if it doesn't feel right. If they bothered to learn a damn thing about you, they would know you're no murderer. I'll do as you say, but even if I'm silent, never forget that I'm your ally. Through thick and thin. I would never doubt it, Watson.
Aw, friends. Okay. So... Alright, we got one more choice to make, and then that's it. And once that choice is done, I'm gonna check our status, actually, because I'm curious what our detective rating is and where our affection lies with the boys. I'm very, very curious about that. But we got to wait for Monsieur Lupin to show his face once more. That's a little while from now, too, actually. Man, this game is long. I didn't realize until skipping through this how long this game is. Mamma mia. That's a spicy mystery game. Okay, so we gotta go chase this old lady out the window. And then Lupin shows up, but that's not the Lupin time I'm waiting for. It's the next Lupin time. When he absconds with us. The scoundrel. And this time I gotta fall for his disguise, too. Barf. No! Wonder if we get any affection with Lupin if we fall for his disguise. Well, I guess I'm about to find out. Are we still gonna hold hands, Holmes? Tell me, Holmes. Okay, still going by first names and holding hands. That's nice. It's fine. My heart didn't need that. Alright, here we go. It's time. Always. Ugh. Always. I believe in you, Holmes. The same as when we were outside in the cold, I bundled his hands between mine and gave them a small squeeze of affection. We'll capture Lupin and have him tell us all he knows about Spellbound. He may have gotten the better of me last time, but I'm stronger now. I'll help you.
Will you? Well, this is no fun at all. The promise of capture would have been much more alluring if your heart weren't already his prisoner.
What? A sudden cry brought me back to my senses.
Miss Whiteley!
Oh, dang. Lupin's so disappointed. Okay, so we're back. We're back, baby. Let's look. Where we at? Ooh! Interesting. And we got some... We did get some with Lupin. A little bit with Watson, a little bit with Akachi. This is not full. Man, just those few choices made that big a difference, huh? How very interesting. We're still a pretty dang good detective, though, I must say. Alright, and after this, I have no idea what's going to happen. Don't know when things are going to change. What's going to be done, but everything that could be done on my end is finished. I've got nothing more I can do. It's all in Emily's hands. Emily, take the wheel, take it from my hand, 'cause I've got no more choices. It's all you, girl. Oh. Wait, was that... Were we in the middle of the chess battle still? To gaze upon his back. Oh, boy. Can I look at the log? Okay, so instead of us being there at the top, it ended... Oh my goodness, that is crazy to me. Okay. I ascended the Tower of London as fast as my legs would carry me. Almost there! After securing them so I wouldn't fall, I hanged the bed sheets from the window and used them as a rope to climb down. Once I landed, I rushed to the Tower of London straight away. Oh, I was covered in dirt by the end of it. My dress became an awful mess. And my hair! I couldn't imagine the state my hair was in now. I never dared to look when along the river. But all the same, this was no time to be concerning myself with appearances. I'd noticed Westminster Abbey was visible and used it as a guide, following the River Thames until I reached the tower. I knew Lupin well enough that I would arrive to a challenge of some sort. Every second was precious, and so I kept running, and running, and running. Finally, I reached the door that led out to the rooftop and flung it open. Holmes!
Emily? We thought you'd been kidnapped by Lupin.
Good evening, Emily. Could you not content yourself to wait for my return? Had your yearning for me dominated your senses so?
I would never! I haven't come here to see you!
Your vehemence is enchanting, but unnecessary. Truly, I can read you like a book.
They're settling their duel with chess? I can't tell who's winning.
What a shame, Monsieur Holmes. I'm certain you believed you'd given your best in our match, but once one loses his composure, he's lost. You could not win against me.
I could see Holmes across the table, his fists clenched so they were shaking. Holmes lost?
I praise your courage, as any good sport should. But you could do with looking before you leap next time. I hope this has made you realize a little just how dependent you are on those around you.
Pardon. Dependent.
As it stands, you as a detective cannot solve a single case on your own. As a man, you cannot protect the one girl for whom you find as precious. Must you be reminded of how much danger you've exposed her to, all because you can't fully appreciate how you feel? And her, this girl you've jeopardized, is a countess who displays courage time and time again. She's even turned against her own caretaker. All for you. Well, Emily, I've won the duel and I should like to accept my prize for winning.
Don't you give me that! Prize? I'm not a trinket at a gambling tournament. Holmes's chair hit the ground with a hard bang as he stepped in front of me to defend me from Lupin. Holmes!
Stay back!
The two glared and nothing else. I feared for what was to come. I held my breath, the better to shoulder the air that had doubled its weight in tension.
All right, this joke has gone on long enough. Or, well, I was rather serious about it. Yet I seem to have left my passion behind elsewhere. I would never in my life force a lady to do something against her will. So, Monsieur Holmes, if we're to meet again, I hope you will give me a duel that will set my heart on fire.
Lupin, the dramatic that he was, then stepped back and spread his arms like a bird ready to take flight before falling elegantly into the well of darkness, because of course he did.
He's gone.
And he didn't give us any clues about Spellbound. Our adversary was nowhere to be seen. The air no longer under the pressure of two egos, my knees buckled.
Miss Whiteley! Are you alright, Emily?
I'm alright. Only a bit tired.
You look more than a bit tired. Here, take my hat.
Holmes went to extend his hand to me. Oh no. This is like when he asks us to take his hand at the end of the good ending. But for some reason he paused. His fingers curled into his palm with a fragile hesitance.
I'll go call Pendleton. He's waiting downstairs. Take care of her for me, Watson.
He withdrew completely.
What? What is this, Holmes?
Holmes's expression was rigid in an unnatural sense. If he had any sort of emotions bubbling beneath the surface, and he used all his efforts to hide them. He simply walked past me to the exit. Holmes, wait!
Miss Whiteley. It's best if you don't leave Watson or Pendleton's side. They're the sort of men who will never fail to protect you. Wait! Damn it, Holmes!
Holmes. This is my fault. It's because of me that he's feeling like this. Why must I be such a burden on his heart? Pain, guilt, they both felt impossibly heavy, as if they were balls and chains fixed to my ankles. And so long as I could do nothing for him, they would remain. A truth I loathed about myself to my core. Oh, dang. A week passed since the duel.
Hurry up, Watson. We must be going. It'll only be a moment. I need to finish this sandwich before we leave. Very well. You have 10 seconds. What?
Have you been given a new case, then?
Oh! Hello, Emily. Can you believe it? Holmes thinks 10 seconds is enough. The only son of a woman living in the East End hasn't been home for 3 days. We're off to hear the details of the case from her.
In a stroke of good fortune, Holmes's father had been released from Scotland Yard's custody. This wasn't to say he had been declared an innocent man, but that they simply didn't have the evidence to prove him guilty beyond doubt. So he didn't go and get Colonel Morin. For now, with the true culprit still running free, the case continued to remain unsolved. No one had the confidence to believe it would ever be labeled anything otherwise. According to Watson, both father and son went right to work investigating the details of the case together, in hopes of closing it once and for all. He did remark their meetings were not particularly pleasant, however. What would come of their new relationship was to be seen. Ugh, my heart. I was simply happy that Holmes had picked himself back up again. Yeah.
Miss Whiteley, is Pendleton not waiting for you? It's not right to keep him.
Yes, I suppose you're right. My response was vibrant, and completely fabricated to distract myself from the wound aching within my chest. Holmes had not asked for my cooperation on his investigation since that evening. Perhaps to punish himself for his actions, he also refused to have his ring returned to him. Man. We thought Lupin was dramatic? This boy. He merely dedicated his services throughout London's streets, taking on case after case to an exhausting degree. Have a pleasant day, you two.
We will. Thanks, Emily!
Well then, I ought not to keep Pendleton waiting, like you said. Until next time. I turned around to leave.
Miss Whiteley.
Yes? What is it, Holmes? It was the first time in a while. He had taken to avoiding my eyes of late, but this time he met them straight on. My heart pounded. Was it wrong to be optimistic? Yeah.
Thank you. And I'm sorry.
What?
I just felt it needed to be said. I've chosen to dedicate my time to helping the public as a detective. Naturally, you are one of those people.
He looked away. That was all he wished to say. His piece said Holmes went to go elsewhere, but I couldn't let it end there. I'd been fastened to the spot. Holmes! If only I could tell him not to leave me. But before I did, I swallowed down the words. I could feel them lumping in my throat, choking me.
Miss Whiteley?
Holmes, I'll see you tomorrow. Of course, optimism was pointless. I'm not certain I even managed a smile right then.
Likewise.
And I don't care how much you struggle with the case. Don't drown yourself in tea late at night. You'll have a devil of a time getting to sleep afterwards.
Is that from personal experience?
It could be.
Well, you have no reason to worry. Unlike you, I savor both my tea and coffee in moderation.
That first part didn't need to be said.
I was only saying as much as you admitted. Regardless, I might take your meddling to heart this once.
Very good.
Then I shall see you tomorrow.
Finally, he walked away. The smile I'd attempted was wretched. I knew, and he knew, but he was enough of a gentleman to pretend he hadn't noticed. I wonder if all I'll ever be able to do is gaze at his back. I should know better by now. The day I can stand at his side will never come to be. And yet, even if that's true, I'll always. I watched him until he was completely out of sight. I didn't have the strength to be the first to walk away. I didn't have the strength to follow him. All I could do was wait until he was gone. Ill-fated end. Ill-fated indeed. I think the song's different for this. That was sad. Not as sad as I thought, but just the unrequitedness, if you will, of it all was very sad. I would be inclined to believe that Watson would get them out of their funk eventually. I mean, he would have a hell of a time, but maybe if Watson and Marple joined forces, they could maybe get these two to get out of their own heads. And just admit to each other that they're both being dumb. I got mixed feelings on that ending, for sure. Just because it's one of those, you know. How does X plus Y equal Z? Z, if you will. Like, all the choices we made, we were still as good of a detective as we were maxing out affection with Holmes. But did we not love him enough that we were just slower in running? You know what I mean? It's like, well, if you had more love in your heart, you would have ran faster. And he would have got there before he lost to Lupin. I would argue that the fact that he was willing to put his ego aside and lose to Lupin to save her life proves that he is a man worthy of protecting her. Because he put her before his ego. Hey, maybe I'm crazy. So, that's how I just view things. You don't have to win to be a man, after all. A man worthy of protecting your lady. Well, that's just my 2 cents. Am I salty that the two didn't end up together? Yes. Did I know this going into the bad ending? Of course I did. Am I still salty? Yes. End? You sure you wanted to end there? You maybe kind of messed it up. Maybe you should try again. I will try again, but not this time because we got the good endings, and I choose to believe that is what happened. But it was still interesting to do that, and we saw a couple of things that we hadn't seen yet, so yay for those things at the very least. But now we are donezo with London Detective Mysteria for now, so thank you guys very much for joining me for this. Oh my goodness. Choking on saliva. But, moving on swiftly from that, now that we're done with this, it is time to go back to Magical Diary, and, whew, man. I'm kind of really glad that we're doing that, because I would feel terrible romancing Watson right afterwards. I'm gonna feel so guilty dating any of the other boys, because I fell so completely in love with Holmes. So it's gonna be interesting going forward, but I'm glad I'm gonna have, like, a little bit of a break. And we're gonna go back to Magical Diary. And this time, we are going to date the lovely Ellen. So, if you guys are interested in seeing that, I hope I shall see you over there. Until then, guys, I will see you later.